Happy Social Media Saturday. I'm back with another episode. Today I am joined by Jaynelle Stewart, who is Senior Influencer, Talent and Partnerships Manager at Agency Cliquish, which is a culturally relevant, conscious, and advocacy-led influencer management agency for Black digital talent. So Jaynelle, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Shelby. I'm really excited to chat with you.
Yes, same. And this is part two. I had the chance to talk with your colleague Sasha last week, so really excited for
Yeah.
this conversation. And yeah, let's just jump in. I'm so curious about your background. I read on your LinkedIn profile that you got your degree in fashion merchandising. You had your own
hmm
blog. So how do these experiences ultimately lead you to your role with Agency Cliquish?
For sure. So, having my own style and beauty blog, it really jumped me into the creator community, and from there I became very obsessed with like YouTube and I eventually started like creating my own video content. So I got very serious about content creation, and through that experience I learned a lot about cameras, editing, color grading, storytelling, and of course, once I realized that I'm really enjoying, I guess the background, being the behind the scenes, I was like, I could put a lot of these skills into, you know, um, my profession as a talent manager. And so at Agency Cliquish, I really get to, champion Black creators and, help them improve their content strategy and personal branding by helping them, I guess, inspiring them and giving them all the gems that I learned during my creator experience.
Yeah, that is great. I always think that there's a special understanding of social media and of working with talent when you have yourself been on the content creator side. You have an idea of
Yeah,
all that goes into it, right? You like see just the beautiful output, but when you've been on that end of things, you know the hours that you could spend on
yes,
shooting and editing and all. Yeah,
definitely,
I'm sure it gives you a great understanding of the influence.
absolutely. I tell them all the time, I get it. I completely get it.
Yeah, and last week, so I talked with Sasha. I mentioned that, and she works mainly with influencers, but you're also working on the partnership side. So, what does that look
hmm
like on the day to day? How do you get these connections? What kind of connections are they? How do you bridge them with your influencers? What does that look like?
So on the day to day, I'm creating social strategies and helping my creators to think a lot more, strategically, um, and really grow their personal branding. And so while I have them focusing on their content, I'm constantly pitching, really pushing, other brands to consider working with more Black creators, especially the creators on our roster, and really showing them like how much, our Black creators can contribute to their initiatives and amplifying their brand voice. So I'm often just, looking for a lot of opportunities to get them into those spaces where, you don't see, many creators that, look like me. So that's just to sum it all up because there's so much
Yeah.
within your role as a talent manager, but that's one of the most important role is, pushing for more inclusivity and getting more Black creators into those spaces where you don't typically see them in. So I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
hmm
leads into my next question. Um,
hmm
we talked about some statistics last week around how Black influencers often are outperforming their non-Black counterparts, but despite this, are
hmm
being paid on average 35% less than their white
Yeah.
counterparts. So, yeah, how do you see this play out in your work, and how is Agency Cliquish contributing to a more equitable economy?
I think that the racial pay gap has been, I think it has been very terrible back in the day. And to be honest, I still feel like there's a lot more improvement to be made. I do want to acknowledge that, we have a lot more organizations that have developed. So you have, Agency Cliquish, like, of course, where, we solely represent Black creators and find opportunities for them. But there's also Creative Collective. You have Create and Cultivate, Crown and Conquer. And, they're all, contributing to this initiative to get more inclusivity in this space, and so, I feel like it's improving day by day, and so, I just think that brands need to realize that Black creators do add a lot of media value, and a lot of studies have shown that we do, Black creators definitely do that. And so I would love to see, these brands, realize that a lot more, also make these rates, align. And so hopefully we fully get there. But one thing for sure is that, at Agency Cliquish, what we do here is, as I mentioned before, we're building really strong, like, effective brand strategies and content strategies with our creators so that they can really stand out, because it's hard. It is a very competitive industry right now. And so, they really have to make sure that they are, standing out, and also really, showing these brands what they can contribute to their campaigns. So just helping them think more, I help creators think more strategically and really ask them questions like, how can we make this content stronger? I'm reviewing their content constantly as well. When they're like submitting content in for these partnerships, and I ask them all the questions that they probably don't, get often, which is, what is the big story here? What story are you telling? How can you tell it a little bit better? And so we work together a lot to improve their content and really make sure that it's being impactful. But most importantly, we hold brands accountable, to make sure that they're holding, not only our talent, not only having value for our talent, but making sure that they have, value all Blacks.
Yeah.
It's something that, that's something that's really important to us. And so we're doing that on the day to day.
Yeah. And it sounds like I really like how it is two part. So you're one, building up and supporting these influencers, these creatives, helping them think more strategically about types of campaigns that they want to be doing or how to set themselves up as a business, but also on the brand side, really advocating for more representation and also just kind of communicating the value.
Absolutely. Very important.
Yeah. So I'm curious if you have, on the topic of campaigns, if you have any favorite campaigns that come to mind for you.
I always say this one. This is so Nike. I set up a partnership between Nike and one of my talent, Monique. And I think that was a very impactful campaign. I think it was just so versatile, and I loved how much creative freedom they gave to Monique. And, I just feel that, Nike is a brand, they really value storytelling. They value creators and really allow, them to just like, speak and have a voice, without pushing a product, and so I absolutely love that. And I just, on the other end, I really love like ideating with them and finding ways to like really optimize the performance on, the content, right? So, and if I could just add one more, there's another one I really love, which was Tampax, and that was with Libby Christensen. And it was just so impactful. That content was so helpful, I believe, because it just spoke on a lot of, I guess, misleading topics or I guess conversations that I guess young women are not having, which is, their menstrual cycle and feeling, not embarrassed about it. But not only that, really teaching them certain things that they should know about it, how to take care of themselves, and how to really like I guess pay attention to their bodies and more and stuff. And so I think that was really amazing because not every woman gets to have those conversations with their guardians or their mothers, or
Yes.
so I really love that. I felt like it was very helpful and meaningful. So those
Mhm.
are like two campaigns that really like stand out for me.
Yeah, I absolutely love
Yeah,
that. Uh, it's always great when you can work on something that starts a conversation that's meaningful to you and that you feel like
exactly.
is moving the needle forward
Mhm.
positively on something that you care about. And yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
definitely in looking back at my um, career so far in social media, those have been the most meaningful moments when we're putting something out that's um, starting some sort of positive conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I am glad that you get to work on cool things like that every day.
Yes, me
Mhm.
too.
Oh, okay, I just have one last question for you. I am
Mhm.
curious if you have any advice for creators who want to market themselves better or work with
Mhm.
brands, or on the other side, any advice for brands who want to work with Black creators?
Absolutely. I think every creator essentially has a brand. And so I think I would love to see more creators really acting as such. I think, it's really important for a creator to really craft their identity as well as craft their story. I feel like you should be able to go on a platform and really see like who this person is, what do they stand for, and so I think that it goes beyond just the quality of the content that they're creating. It's about the cohesion and, the consistency on their platform. If they have multiple platforms, like, is it in unison?
Mhm.
Is the message being clearly made on each of those platforms? And so I think that it's really important to have, clear, like, I guess, a clear strategy,
Yep.
and be really intentional about the content and the messaging that you are putting on your platform. And not only that, it's like if you're really trying to be extremely serious about becoming a creator, making this a career, brands are paying attention to that. Those potential partners are paying attention to that. They need to see that you are actually building a brand here. They
Yeah.
want to be able to see where can where are you headed? Where can you go? And so, yeah, you're looking for talent management as well. This is something they're going to be looking for. So I would love to see a lot more, talent doing this and focusing on that. And in another case, I would absolutely love to see creators kind of fall back on the trending sounds a little bit because it's not helping as much as they think it is.
Is that right?
I truly feel this way
Okay, hot takes
because
coming out.
I feel that it's just not, it doesn't really make an impactful story. I feel that it's not building a loyal following. And
Mm,
so, yes, there's a lot of like, platforms out there and a lot of advice to like use these trending sounds to boost your engagement, but that's all it's doing. Just because you're a creator doesn't mean that you're an influencer,
yeah,
right? And
right.
so you should be telling a story. And while sometimes like not, speaking in your content has worked for some creators, it is rare. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So
right.
I think you should focus on, telling a story, making it more impactful, relatable, and more unique. And then I feel like that would strengthen your community a lot more, and
Mhm.
also allow other brands and potential partners to see how they can fall into that. You know what I mean? If you're not really saying anything,
Right.
you're
How do you
not
know
going
who
to
you are?
be exactly, how
Yeah.
can you amplify a brand's
Mhm.
voice? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It
So
makes
that's
so much
that's
sense.
something I really would love to see. Move back. It's okay to like include
Yeah.
it on your platform, but uh let's dial it back a little bit and make sure that we're including more direct to camera and more voiceovers inner content a lot more. So that's something I would love to see. Yeah. And I could add one more thing, and I'm so
Yeah.
sorry if I'm talking so
No,
much.
please share it all.
One thing I would love to see from, partners is, Black History Month does come up, right? And um I would love to see brands not only working with Black creators often during this month, that,
Yeah.
during February. I'd love to see that more throughout the year. But not only that, I would love to see them really standing by inclusivity and really, being an advocate for the community. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, standing by us, and not just when it, benefits your brand. I would love to see a lot more of that, and also a lot more creative freedom within their strategies, their influencer strategies as well. It's not helping you. We don't like ads. We're in a community now where people are paying attention. They're
Yeah.
over the whole
Yes.
standard influencer, uh, I guess, content. So, we're dialing it back and getting back to like the genuine, like content, the real, and all of that. So, dial it back on the
You can tell
constant.
too when a brand says, has their guidelines and puts an influencer in a box, and when the
Exactly.
influencer has their own freedom to kind of do their thing in their own way.
hmm No one wants to listen to you reading a script.
Right, exactly.
So, I think, they got to dial it back a little bit and really cut down on their creative brief so that they can allow these creators to really like uh, speak to who they truly are,
Yeah,
and really include that within their content. So
yeah.
those are just a couple of things that, stay on my mind.
Yeah, great information all around on
Yeah.
the influencer and on the brand side. I mean, what I picked out, what I'm hearing you say for creatives is maybe don't just follow trends, make your own, or tell
Mhm.
your own story, really focus on being authentic, expressing yourself authentically as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the brand side, to just make this a year-round thing. We're not just working with Black creatives during Black History Month, but it's just
Mhm.
a part of our, ongoing strategy and commitment to inclusive marketing practices. So that
Yeah,
sounds
exactly.
ideal.
Yes. I would love to see this happen a lot more. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Oh, well, Jaynelle, thank you so much for your time today. It was such a pleasure to chat
It
with
was
you.
such a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. And for anybody who is curious about learning more about Jaynelle and Agency Cliquish, please read more info in the article below and find all the links. And until next time.
Bye.